Welcome to this week's G.I. Joe toy review. Well, this is the last week of the Women of Cobra month for the month of July. I hope you all enjoyed it so far. We just looked at Steel Raven, the Baroness, Heart Wrencher, the female Cobra officer, Munitia, and now we look at Slither Zarana. But before we get to Zarana, let's do our usual shout outs. First off, at Time Traveler Toys and Collectables. Once I get the glare off of there, you can see the name brand better. There we go. Time Traveler Toys and Collectables. You can find them on 115 South Loudon Street here in lovely Winchester, Virginia. And you can buy and sell comics, toys, and collectibles there. And as well as you can find a whole lot of collectibles from He-Man, She-Ra, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Transformers, Star Trek, Star Wars, you name it, they got it. Even WWE stuff. Go in and tell Charles that I sent you. And you can also find them on Facebook, and you could email them at timetravelertoys@gmail.com. Sorry for the glare though, y'all. And then while you're in the neighborhood, go to Back to the Media. And they're at 41 South Loudon Street here in Winchester, Virginia. You could go to their website of Back to the Media at backtothemedia.com. As well as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you can email them at backtothemedia@gmail.com. So go ahead and check them out for all your video game needs. Plus they got like comics and other toys and collectible stuff, as well as records and CDs and DVDs and VHS. Both of them are pretty cool and awesome stores. And go and check them out while you're in the area. So let's take a look at our girl Zarana. Starting off with her file card. It says, her file card says, Sister of Zartan, codename Zarana. File name classified. Primary military specialty intelligence. Secondary military specialty sabotage. Birthplace classified. Zarana is an astonishing mimic and a quick study. She's also rude, tight-fisted, and generally mean. She needs only moments of observation before she can assume a subject's body language and voice characteristics down to the smallest detail. While her brother Zartan makes his impersonations work with exact physical resemblance, Zarana becomes her subject, going as far as trying to think like him or her. Then the quote at the bottom says, I wish there was two of you, then I could knock your heads together and really get your attention. Doesn't really speak much about her background. Just talks about what she's able to do with her observations and whatnot, and how she becomes her subject when she goes to do her sabotage and espionage and whatnot. But it's pretty odd. But her background, if you remember her character from the comics and the cartoon, is pretty straightforward. But this is the San Diego Comic-Con 2011 variant. They called it a variant. But it's the same uniform but different colored paint apps. But we'll get to that here later. So let's look at what her accessories were. She comes with her figure stand, Upraised Cobra logo, which I've always said in every Dreadnought video I've ever did. This should be a Dreadnought symbol. That would actually make it look really, really cool if it was a Dreadnought symbol instead of the Cobra symbol. Even though the Dreadnoughts worked for Cobra. And Zarana on the front. And then she also comes with her assault rifle with bladed bayonet looking thing. Which actually, for those that remember, this is actually a Ripper gun. This is the exact gun that Ripper came with. And it's pretty cool looking assault rifle. I like the knife on it. This is like my favorite Dreadnought weapon of all Dreadnought weapons, next to the cinder block on a stick that Road Pig carries. She also comes with the weapon she came with when she was in her vintage 1986 version. The spur attached to the rifle, which all Dreadnoughts came with, like Mad Max inspired weapons that would cause some destruction. They were rather, instead of killing people to get what they want, they rather destroy their property. You know, the typical, uh, oh, this is what a motorcycle gang does, but I know motorcycle gangs don't really intend to go out and hurt people. She also comes through her little dagger, and she's a pretty nice little dagger. You know, and works his point. So let's take a look at Slither Zarana. As you can tell, looks very different from her original look, where she was decked out in a pink and her blue jeans. You know, in her classic pink hair with the blonde mohawk, but where it's actually black on this one, with the whole gothic theme going on. And her whole outfit is black, all the way down to her boots, and with the little fishnet there on the side of her leg. You know, and she's got that whole gothic punk rock thing, and it says Cold Slither on her shirt. And for those who remember Cold Slither from the Sunbow animated cartoon, Zarana was not a part of that band, but she would have made a cool addition if she was actually in the series at the time. As you can see, her shoulder patch with her pink on the original figure is actually black. It was actually pretty cool. And she's got her sleeves for her dagger. Little pouches on the side of her legs. It's all pretty cool. And so let's take a look at the articulation. Her head does rotate the full 360.
I love you too, Mom.
And her arm lifts about there. It does rotate the full 360. She does bend at the elbow. Full 360 rotation at the bicep. Her arm at the gauntlet, where her wrist is, does swivel. Full 360.
Yes, it's mine, but no, I'm not talking.
And
Well, to you, I am.
She does have the ab crunch feature.
Take you for a spin sometime? Come on,
but she does come with that. It is very easy to maneuver, but it's hard to do when you're using it with one hand, but it's there. It's pretty good rotation. And she does swivel at the hip, at the chest also. Right there at the ab crunch. Does swivel, as you can see. Pretty cool range of motion on that. And then she does have the typical T-hook where her legs can stretch out like she's almost in a split formation, which is pretty sweet. She could do her little rocket kick, as I like to call it for the ladies. It's a rocket kick for the New York City Rockettes. Here's a shout out to the Rockettes. Her leg just looked up to about there. She does come with the modern era design double knee joint. It is pretty cool. Her ankle, it does pivot, as well as a swivel at the ankles. And as you can see, I forgot to mention during the looking at it, she does have spikes or spurs on her heels. You know, which is cool. She really does look like, this version does look like more of a badass biker chick than the original. The only thing that G.I. Joe does is they make this little biker gang, the Dreadnoughts, like the most evil, portraying them as evil, but actually the biker gangs are pretty cool. People are just, it's just how society wants to add them and stereotype them, you know, but they're people just like us. You know, so let's take a look at Zarana all set up in battle gear. And here she is in her battle gear. She makes no comic book appearances in this uniform. Neither does she make any cartoon appearances. Like I said, you know, she wasn't part of the Cold Slither episode because she wasn't introduced to the series yet. But I do like this figure. My thoughts on this figure is very simple. This is like the most awesome Zarana of all Zaranas. I think this figure is just totally sweet. She's got that little action figure plastic biker chick sexiness with her. You know, she's a really badass looking figure. I love this figure with the all black get out. But then I'm kind of partial to black. That is one of my two favorite colors. But I think she's really, really cool. This is like a good way to end this month of Cobra's, the Women of Cobra month. You know, as I go to Joe month next month. But this is a really badass figure. I like it. You know, it's one of my favorites. You know, it's personally one of my favorites. I would rank this figure as a top tier figure, like the original Zarana. This is a must-have if you can actually go get it. But being that she's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, she will be very pricey. I paid $200 for this one. You know, but they are very, very pricey for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Very, very awesome figure. And like I said, it's a must-have in your collection if you can actually find one. And be expecting to pay a high price for it. So that's pretty much my thoughts of Slither Zarana. You can find, there's no vintage version of her, so there's no Hooded Cobra Commander 788 or Foreign Back C57 or Half the Battle videos. But check out those three channels anyway. They're three awesome G.I. Joe reviewers. Hooded Cobra Commander, Foreign Back C57, and Tim are very awesome G.I. Joe reviewers. Check out those channels if you can. Also, you can see like there. I think SEO Toy Reviews. There's a review on her. Mr. 1013 I think does one. So go ahead and check them out. But you can find modern reviews of this figure besides this channel here. So go ahead and check them out. Tune in next week as we start the Women of G.I. Joe month, and we have the popular figure of the month, which is also another one of my favorite G.I. Joe characters, Cover Girl, the beauty behind the brain, so to speak. But it's nice to see her with actual weapons. Unfortunately, this does not come as with the Wolverine, but hey, it's still cool though. Still awesome figure. But this has been Zarana. I hope everybody's doing good with their social distancing in this COVID pandemic. Hope y'all are staying safe and 6 feet apart and all that other good stuff and healthy. Like I said, tune in next week for Cover Girl. This has been Slither Zarana. And as for Cobra Island, now you know, and knowing is half the battle, and see y'all in the next one.